Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the pod. I am Spongy here, or you can call me Angel, whatever you want. Alongside, once again, Jimmy King.
Hello, welcome.
And tonight we are doing today, this morning, wherever you are, we are doing our first ever. If we hope Paul will join us for the next AEW review. We'll try to get him to watch a show, but
Yeah, I think we
this
gotta
is
get
our
him to watch one.
first. Right. This is our first joint AEW anything review. If you guys have not caught up with Jim's small AEW reviews that have been coming out weekly, that we do really appreciate that come out. If you guys enjoy those, make sure to leave a like and share those around the internet. But this is our big joint one for AEW Dynasty, which was a big AEW pay-per-view. Not their biggest of the year, but one of the big ones. I wouldn't say the top four either, but one of their mid-card pay-per-views, which had a lot of action, a lot of lengthy action, and a lot of opening action. But there was the pre-show, and what I can remember from the pre-show, Jim, what was before Jungle Jack Perry? Man, I'm blanking on the guy he fought. But who was before that? Because I watched that whole thing. I just don't remember the wrestlers.
Because that was about the time. That's when I picked up the 0 hour. So I have to.
And I never usually watch Zero Hour. I feel like Zero. I don't like the name Zero Hour in my opinion. I just think it's goofy and but I do
Yeah.
like that they like do a better post show than WWE does, because WWE doesn't even have matches anymore on the post show. So it's just like 3 hours of annoying commentary talking about the matches, and it's like such a waste of time in my opinion. Like, you know what I
Mark
mean?
Davis,
Like,
by the way.
oh yes, Mark Davis from
Yep.
the Aussie Open or the Don Callis family now. But
The match before that was Camille going up against a local talent. And her.
oh, see, I
Yep.
I didn't even remember.
Nope.
So
Well, so I didn't get to actually watch. I didn't get to watch that one, nor did I get to see the other one that they were. So uh, they promoted Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir on the Collision.
oh
Prior.
yes, I
So
did
that
see
was
that.
what opened the 0 hour. I didn't get to
Right.
watch that, but from what I understand, that was actually a pretty decent match. Windsor, she took some hits from what I saw in pictures. Like, she got clobbered a couple times. And even tonight, man, like, I was watching Collision tonight, and like, Jesus Christ, she fought Tekla, and like, holy shit, they were trying to take each other's heads off. Literally, at one point in time, Windsor hits a lariat that she didn't hit her leg or nothing. Like, the slapping sound you heard was her hitting Tekla's jaw with her arm. But yeah, so it was Camille versus Big Ann, and I think if I remember correctly, it was directly after that Willow Nightingale came out, and they had their little show off.
The little stint, right? With
Yeah.
yeah.
And then they ended up facing each other at Dynamite last night.
That match was Camille showed her ring rust, but
Hell yeah.
I will say
But
she showed a
still-
lot of ring rust.
She showed her ring rust, but at the end of the day, she still was able, and that's like kind of the point to these matches. Even if you have a bit of ring rust, like right now, if I were to get into the ring, I would be rustier than hell. But that's the only way that I'm gonna break that rust is to get in the ring. So from what I actually looked up on Cage Match because I was doing the review. This is her first match back in 18 months.
Oh my god, that's almost 2 years.
Yep, she's been gone for 18 months
What?
because she was doing. I think she got injured at one point, and then she did American Gladiators, and I think she got injured doing American Gladiators. So I could be wrong there though. So I didn't look into any of that. I just think I heard that
Interesting.
because they were talking about an injury when she was on last night. But I didn't hear anything about an injury from her recently because
Right.
I don't know if anybody out there has found my stupid little channel, but I've got my own little kayfabe company. And Camille was in that. And usually when I use other wrestlers that are real life wrestlers like that, I look into them to make sure that like I know what I'm getting into using that. And from when I did research with her at the time, I didn't find anything about her being injured. There was nothing on socials. That's when I found out she was on American Gladiator. So I don't know
Interesting.
necessarily when she was injured. So that's where I'm wondering if maybe she didn't get injured while on American Gladiators, because that's kind of a contact show. Maybe a little bit, I guess. Not necessarily, but yeah.
I will say with following that match, because I don't recall it, but now I do remember Marina Shafir being in the match. I do remember her. When did Jungle Boy turn babyface? I just haven't paid attention to him, but when he came out to the jungle to his old gimmick,
yeah.
I was just like,
He's been
Oh.
doing that. So he's Jungle Jack Perry, so he's no longer Jungle Boy. He's been doing that now. Oh man, what pay-per-view was that? I
And when
can't
did the
remember.
scapegoat stuff die out?
It's been a
What
while.
the heck?
The scapegoat thing's been gone for a while now. To be honest with you, Jack, about the time the Bucks started to get like the ridicule stuff, you know, like when they were pranking the Bucks, where like they were the broke Bucks and
Right.
whatever. It was about that time that Jack stopped doing the scapegoat thing, and he just started being just Jack Perry. He started like
Random.
showing people how he could forge knives and stuff, which is actually kind of neat. He posted them on Instagram.
Oh,
Kind of
I
cool.
did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he started doing that. So like he kind of leaned into more like a like a what the hell is a comic book character? He's a hunter. I thought it starts with T.
Craven the
Yeah,
Hunter.
Craven. Yeah, he's kind of leaning into
There
more
you
like a
go.
Craven character is what he's doing now. But I want to say
Interesting.
it was it wouldn't have been Revolution, so it would have been maybe it was World's End.
Maybe.
That because he and Luchasaurus team back up, but Luchasaurus is injured. He's got a
Is her injured, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and he
Or
had
that's not his name. His name's Killswitch. Come on now.
he's coming out as Luchasaurus now.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I hated when they did that.
yeah, and that was how they
Killswitch.
announced that they were back as good guys was him coming out as Luchasaurus. Like he did the there was a video package that they did where there was a person and everybody already knew it was Jack Perry because they didn't do a very good job of hiding his hair. But he was working on like a like a Frankenstein's lab monster type of thing.
Oh, right.
And it was Luchasaurus. He brought quote unquote Luchasaurus back from the dead.
Dinosaur. Interesting. Did he ever turn heel on or not heel or did he ever just
He
turn
turned on
on
Christian.
Christian?
Yeah, he turned on
Ah,
Christian.
okay. I was about to say.
Yep.
I just remember the last time I remember seeing them was all together with Nick Wayne and all that. But
That was about the time that Nick got
any
hurt. So,
anywho, that title I will say is that the national championship or the international championship?
national. Yeah.
That title is just so beautiful. It's a what the it's based off the old
It
is it the old
basically is the end. It's
WWF
basically
or the NWA?
it is the current. If you look it up right now, like if you were to Google the current NWA World Television Championship, it's almost a carbon copy. Like shape, color, and everything. The only thing that's different is the logo and what they
Right, the
call it.
logo
'Cause
at the top. Oh yeah, that is literally
so
yeah.
I mean,
That's the one I was
I
talking
don't
about. Yeah.
necessarily know what. Okay, I'm gonna be real. Hot take. I don't like that. I don't like that Tony did that. I don't like the fact that he carbon copied a belt. I don't. I really don't. I genuinely am not a fan. It's a beautiful belt. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. I like what they did as far as like how it looks. I just don't like the fact that it's genuinely a carbon copy. Like if you seen them at a glance, they would be the same belt.
Absolutely. I thought
So yeah.
a little note for when Mark Davis came out. They announced him as the most dangerous wrestler in the AEW locker room.
Yeah, they were doing a thing at one point. I can't remember who he was going up against. Maybe it was Brody.
King.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. But basically they were trying to say who was the most dangerous, and that was like a big build to one of their recent
Oh.
matches, and
Oh,
that's
okay. That
why
makes
I think.
sense.
But they can't really use Dunkzilla. Apparently he's getting in trouble for using Dunkzilla, which I think is hilarious. But apparently I can't remember who it is, but there's apparently a basketball player that uses that name, and he's getting in trouble for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would.
You'd think that they would
Um.
figure out a way to not, but
Right.
there's a copyright in place, I guess. I could be wrong
But
about
you would
like how
think
long.
like they're on a basketball channel,
Yeah.
team,
So
and
that's-
you would think they'd work together.
Yep. You would
That's
think-
what I was going.
I mean, they've
forward.
had Shaq on there, and I'm pretty sure it's
Right.
Shaq. I want to say it's Shaq because I feel like I've heard him refer to himself as Dunkzilla.
I
Like-
don't know. I maybe, but yeah, you would think even with having Shaq, that would be simple. And he has his show on that channel too.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So like you'd think that they'd figure out a way, but I don't know. Like I think they're just trying to make Mark have his own gimmick right now since Kyle Fletcher's doing his own solo run, obviously, and he's injured. Plus, you've got the fact that he's in the Don Callis family, and the way that they're pushing things. And I suppose this could be something about your Dynasty review. The what was it? The Young Bucks against Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita.
Right, Takeshita, was it Okada that walked away from Takeshita? Or was it the
Takeshita
other
walked
way
away from Okada.
around? Right.
They literally, and I even mentioned it in my Dynamite review or Dynasty review. They there's a whole point where they go for the Melter driver, and Takeshita grabs, I think it's Nick's leg, And like Nick looks down at him, and they're like a whole thing. And Takesha's just like holding his leg and like looks up at him, and then just like lets go and walks away, and they hit the Meltzer
Right.
driver. And like honestly, that has been building for a little while now, and I'm really happy that they're doing that tonight on Collision. They actually they had confirmed that Don Callis and Okada were talking, and they confirmed that Okada wants him for that match. Like he wants him for that.
I'm excited for that. That match is going to be good. I just feel like they've been taking so long to get here, but
Yeah.
I'm
Sometimes
finally
though those
glad
slow
that.
builds are okay. I don't necessarily mind the slow builds because they do have those options for like so Takeshita at one point he was the IWGP World Champion for a little while there. So I mean
Right.
obviously he had been going back to Japan and he had been working and doing stuff there. So he'd been doing stuff just like how Claudio's been doing stuff in CMLL. Like they've been staying busy too.
Oh, I really enjoyed that, but that's a whole discourse for another time.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, are you smacking people with a cookie sheet back
No,
there?
you apparently freaked out the wife because she dropped something in the sink.
Oh, Jesus. But following that tag match, it was Jericho and Ricochet. It's Jericho's first match in almost a year, right?
Almost, yep, pretty close.
Almost a year, and it's Ricochet first match since being a dumb idiot online.
Pretty much.
Jericho, his gear was very interesting for me. He had weird, interesting
God,
pants.
he's done the sparkly gear before, I'll admit, but
Right.
that was weird. So
Uh,
I don't make it a business of looking at men's asses, but he looked like he was wearing a diaper that didn't fit his ass.
And also, like, I just wish he would wrestle in a shirt, not because like he's not, just like he's old, And when few humans get old, and you can be in the good physique, and it's just.
Well, I mean, like, what about Billy Gunn? Billy Gunn's in great shape. He wrestles
Oh
well
well,
as
you
shit
know
now.
what? Billy Gunn is like, but his body
He's the
is sharp
exception.
though.
Yeah,
His
he's the
body
exception.
is sharp. Like Jericho is fit, but his chest is destroyed from
Yeah.
from
Well,
wrestling. So like,
that does happen. I'll admit. Like my dad even had that
right,
weird split chest thing.
yeah, and it just doesn't look the best.
No.
I'm not saying like I'm not hating on looks. It's just I wouldn't hate it if Jericho wore like a tank top, whatever what, but it would look weird with this weird outfit that he had going on with these sparkly pants looking like a Fortnite skin. But
Well, and
this
that's kind
match
of the thing.
over.
Like he brought attention to himself with those sparkly pants. That's like, why? Sorry.
The most Jericho thing ever.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's why you're just like, why?
Right, but I
Sorry.
think but this match was decent at best. I mean, Jericho was showing his age. He's
Yep.
moving a lot slower than he usually is, which is expected. He is what 54, 55?
Something like that. But
Correct
he
me if I'm
actually
wrong.
did pretty.
Somewhere.
There's a few good ones though. I mean, like he got some pretty good height in that code breaker off the top. He does still get up pretty quick, and I mean, I'm sure are learning when it comes to taking a bump and standing back up. That can take a lot out of you, especially if you get the
Oh
wind knocked out
yeah.
of you. So like
Yeah. Oh.
Jericho can still take a bump, man, and that's the thing. Like that is where you're gonna find that I'm going to decide whether or not I think people can go if they can take the bump and get back up. Like you can take a bump, but it's if you can take that hit and then immediately get back up.
Get back up. Yep.
That is where
I
I'm like, Jericho can still do it. So
I didn't like the crowd though. Like when he was doing the most generic arm drag, and they're like, "Oh my god, you still got?" I'm just like, he just did an arm drag. Yeah, like,
that there's a story there though.
oh, let's hear it.
So back in WCW, he faced off against Dean Malenko because Dean Malenko was known as the man of 1,000 holds.
Right.
And Jericho was known as the man of 1,004 holds. Well, one of the first things on Jericho's list was an arm drag, and then an arm something or other. Like he literally comes out with
Right.
a big
The
long
list.
roll. Yeah.
The long list. Yep.
So I think that was what that is. I think while he did that and people were yelling, "You still got it." I don't think they were actually trying to tell him he still got it. I think that was a rib.
I hope so, because if they were saying you still got it to like the generic moves, I'm like, all right, I just
Well, I
learned
mean,
these like this
some of the
week,
basics,
and
man, you gotta make sure you can do.
oh, absolutely. And I did like the one of my favorite spots in this match when he reversed the 450 into the
Yeah.
code breaker.
Yep.
That was really
good.
nice.
And you know what? Good on Ricochet too, because he took that bump like a champ.
Oh yes, he sure did.
And that's the thing, man. Like I agree with the outcome of that match too. Like yes, Jericho lost. I actually got into it with somebody on Reddit. I think I showed it, or no, it was Facebook. I
Yeah,
showed him.
Facebook.
I got banned commenting on Facebook for a little while because this guy was upset that Jericho lost, and I spelled it out for him, and I think I got banned because I told him that it wasn't WWF. But at the end of the day, like I don't think Jericho needed to win that match because I mean, for
He
one
doesn't
thing,
need the win. He
yeah,
doesn't need that win.
no, he's not. So okay, there's a difference between a wrestler coming back from injury and a veteran coming back from injury. Now, granted, he's a wrestler,
Right.
but he's Jericho for crying out loud, and he doesn't. Honestly, if Jericho were to lose every single match from here on out the rest of his career, I don't think that would be a problem. Because it's Jericho. He could find a way. He'd make it work. He'd figure something out. That's the thing about Jericho. Like, he may not necessarily always be in the tip-top shape. He may not always have the pinnacle of of gimmicks, because the learning tree. But it's still Jericho to the point where he is self-aware enough where he, like he did last week, he came out and he's like, yo, I don't need to be this. I don't need to be that. I want to make this place succeed. That's what Jericho is. And I mean, the learning tree thing, probably it served its purpose. And when it came down to it, he was pissing people off, and that's Jericho. He loves to poke at people. So, he didn't need this win. I agree. I made another point about why he didn't necessarily need that win, but Ricochet, because of the shit that he just pulled, he's the one that needed that win, because even though he's a heel, he needed to get a little bit more favor with the crowd, and that they did with him calling this thing the Rico Salt. Like, he does do a good lion salt. I'll give him that. I really will. But at the end of the day, I think that this is good. I don't want to see Jericho every week, though. Like, the crowd's gonna get sick of him. Because Jericho is the type of people where he's good in small doses. Like, he can come out and he can pop a crowd. He can come out and like get people to be behind him for this and that, whatever. I mean, that song, people are already singing it. The dude's only been back 3 weeks. People are already singing the majority of that song every time it comes out. So realistically, he's already over. People do love him, so he doesn't really need to go through all this extra process of doing this and doing that, because he's Jericho. So being on TV every single week is definitely not something he needs to do. I don't want to see him every week. Although the jacket he was wearing last night was pretty cool.
No, no, no. He looked like a divorced mother last night. That outfit was.
I like that jacket. I like that red jacket.
I like the vest, but like the outfit he had was the most
I liked his
divorced
red
mother
jacket.
thing ever. It was
I
such
liked
a
it. It looked
weird
like it was
outfit.
like a lace doily, but it was red.
He needs a better pant selection.
Yeah, he thinks he's a rock star. Sorry, I'm wandering around the kitchen because I'm trying to help the wife look for her peeler.
100%. But I will say though,
You found it? Okay.
I didn't like that interference spot. I'm not really liking this group that Ricochet has. I'm not a big fan of it.
Oh, I
think
love the Gates of Agony.
the Gates of Agony are good. I just don't like them around Ricochet. I don't know. I don't know what it is with me.
I mean,
But but I did like the finish though with the lion salt. He lost 2 of the lion salt, which was ironic.
yeah.
You know.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do, because I'd like to see Ricochet kind of lean into that a little bit too. I personally I like Toa and Bishop Khan. Bishop's actually from Minneapolis, so I mean I've seen him on the indies here and there. But I like those guys. They actually, when they were working with Brian Cage, when they were, I think, the Cage of Agony or something like that, they called themselves, or Gates of, I don't remember what the hell it was, but they were a trio for a little while, and those three worked really well together. And Brian got injured. Now I actually have no idea what he's doing, but those two are great. But I'm okay with them being with Ricochet because that means they're getting TV time. So
You know what?
I can't
That's
hate.
true.
That's
But
my only
following
thing.
this, oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Well, following this match, it was my match of the night, in my opinion. I don't. You might have a different opinion here, but it was for the winner. If Darby won, I don't know if Andrade, if he would get anything if he won, but if Darby won,
Yeah, I don't think so.
he would get the AEW championship. Not that. Hold on, I'm dumb. Now he wouldn't get the AEW championship. He would get the
shot.
AEW championship match, a shot at the AEW title, a World Heavyweight Championship, if he beat Andrade tonight. And I mean, Darby is really good in the ring when he's not doing goofy stuff or dangerously goofy stuff. And Andrade is a performer.
He
He's
likes his shock factor.
so good in the ring. Like I think athletic wise, Andrade, I've seen him live so many times that I don't think he's ever disappointed me while I've ever seen him live. And he literally did the same thing. They had good chemistry here. Um, a big notable things that I really enjoyed was when Andrade does his rope thing where he like acts cocky and
Oh
Darby
yeah,
just full
barrels right
Nelsons
through him.
into him and just right through him because
Yep.
he didn't expect that. And I really like that. So it was a nasty bump to the floor, but it was a cool something different. And I keep enjoying that spot where he does every week where he takes a picture with the model.
Yeah.
But this time Darby just threw himself on him while
Mhm.
he was taking the picture. It just
See, that's the thing I
goddamn
like about Darby because he comes flying out of anywhere with those
out of
cannonball sentons.
nowhere.
Like it's just out of nowhere. He's done that so many times over the years. Like there's been those video clips where like there's two guys facing off outside the ring. I think there was one where they're facing against Sting, and I don't remember who
Right.
it is, but like just out of nowhere, Darby just just barrels into him and takes him out. I love those spots, and uh, for me, that I mean, okay, so Darby is interesting when it comes to wrestling characters. He's not really he doesn't really have a gimmick. It's just him.
You're right. It's just Darby Allin.
Um, I'm not a big fan of the shock factor every week type of thing. Like I'm okay with the cannonball sentons through the ropes and like some of the stuff that he does, like the coffin drop and some of the crazy things are all right, but it's not in moderation. But when most of what he's trying to do is a shock factor thing, like the glass spot in Sting's retirement, you didn't need to fucking do that.
Yeah, you did not need to do
There's
that.
no need, bro.
There was
Like
no need for that bump at
being lit
all.
on fire, there's no need for that. Like, is it cool? Sure, but man, I'm gonna tell you right now, that was hot, dude. Like, just being in the arena when the pyro goes off, that shit's hot. So, can you imagine actually being lit on fire or using a flamethrower like he has a few times?
Right.
Like, that's no
It's
way,
to
man,
me, it's
no.
just dumb and it's just dumb and dangerous.
And especially in some of the venues that they do. Like, if it's an open air venue, that's one thing. Like, do it in Wembley because if you have a fire, right? But like you get these small venues where like the rafters aren't that high, bro. It's like you can't take fire that
Right.
far. Like it's gonna burn something.
And
'Cause
also
they,
with the glass, like the glass can fall into the crowd or like
and that was the
accidentally.
thing. Yeah, that was the thing. Like that was the crowd immediately. Like man, you saw people get hit by it. You saw them. You literally could see them in the video, them getting hit by it. Like their little feet, like they reacted to it. Like
Right, and you've seen, and even in like ladder matches before, like you've seen sometimes they'll bridge it and it
mhm.
almost accidentally hits people, or sometimes the ladder will fall and almost fall into the damn,
Yep.
lawsuit waiting to happen or something.
Well, and I mean, I feel like there is a certain level of understanding when you go into a wrestling match, especially if you're ringside. Personally, that's half the reason why I don't like to be at ringside. Besides the fact that I'm short, well, not really short, but I'm not. I'm too tall to be short, and I'm too short to be tall. I'm 5'11", so like I can't always see over the people who are taller than me. So if I'm in the first like 5-6 rows that are ringside, I can't fucking see unless I'm front row, and I ain't gonna pay that. Like I'm cheap. So I'm gonna be up on like if it's in a hockey arena, I'll be like rink side. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be there because
Right,
that's still a good spot because you're elevated. You don't have to worry about the idiots in front of you, and you can see everything. And then sometimes like Mox will come running out in front of you.
absolutely, yeah.
Or
But what did you think
lately
of
they
this
got.
match?
I honestly I love that match too. It came in close second when it came to how I felt about it in the sense of like match of the night. I wasn't gonna call it match of the night just because there were a few clunky moments that I was like, Darby, what the hell? But
Right,
ultimately, I could kind of see what they were trying to do, and they were also telling a story there. And there's always something going on with Andrade. I appreciate the fact that Andrade shook his hand afterwards. I still don't necessarily understand why Andrade is taking his pants off. I don't I don't get that.
yeah. I don't like that.
Especially since he took his pants off when he did in his or in his match with Darby, he looked like he had a chub when he went to give him a handshake. So like that was what the IWC was talking about. And it's just like, guys, like, can we not? Like, what the fuck? But that was good actually. I was really impressed with that match. I knew that Andrade and Darby were going to go back and forth really well. I know that Andrade is just a spectacle of an athlete. When he was La Sombra, I think that's what he was when he was masked. He does a lot of the stuff that he does now as Andrade, and it's just interesting to see like his face now. Like, so I know it sounds weird. But now that you can actually see his face and some of the facial expressions that he does make, and you can see that he taunts people. So I wonder how many times he was taunting people while he was under the mask too. Uh, but ultimately, though, I mean, it was a good match. I'm glad that they did something with it. Although I wish that in the last 2 days that we would have found out if there is any type of fallout with Don Callis and Andrade. Um, we didn't get that because on Dynamite they didn't mention. They just all they did was mention that Andrade lost and he didn't get the job done. And then tonight on Collision they didn't mention a thing. So
Weird.
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
now we can get to the match you were speaking about.
Yeah.
We get to Mox and Osprey. I did not like this match.
Oh, I did.
This
They told a great
was
story.
not good because didn't this dude come back from neck fusion surgery and
That's the
he was
story.
not selling the damn neck?
No, he did. That's
Oh
the
my!
thing. After a little while, so he hit too many hidden blades, and then after a while there, he went to go for the Tiger Driver, and he couldn't do it.
No,
Mm-hmm.
if my neck is that damaged, I should die in the first damn DDT or take a huge hit and not be able.
See,
I feel
that's
like
where I was talking about the story.
even last night in the middle of the match with Hechicero, it was like you stopped the. I don't know what they showed on TV or not, right? So like, but like
They didn't stop the match.
They didn't
Like,
like stop it, but they had like
they were looking at him,
a
yeah.
doctor there, and it's just like. This is goofy. You're doing flips. You're landing off like the top rope from doing a high top rope kick.
Hechicero
But
was
your
also
neck is
working over
supposed
his
to hurt.
arm. A good
Oh,
majority of that match,
that
too.
was good.
Yeah.
But like, still, your
But that's
neck
what
is
they
a
were looking at,
major
was the arm.
component on the body, and I feel like he didn't do the best on doing it. I feel like Osprey forgets that he is like this diverse athlete in the ring that he doesn't really put effort into selling out that neck, and that's when I just
What if I told
phased out of
you
this match.
that that's the point?
I don't know.
So
It
let me
loses my
let
like
me just
when
kind
the
of.
story's about the injury. It's like okay, I
The
want
story's not
to
about the injury. The story is about the repair,
right because he's
and
going
that's
after him because Mox is the one that quote unquote put him out, but he was already injured,
yeah.
before he
But
was
so
like,
okay.
oh,
So here's the reason why I was saying that the story of the match. Okay, Osprey came out with a hidden blade immediately at Dynasty. Okay, immediately, like the fucking bell rang and he just bopped, and then he did it again, and then they go back and forth quite a bit. And there's so many times where he does actually get hit with something and he pops back up. There was actually a paradigm shift that John hit him, like he hit him with a paradigm shift, and he comes back up with a hidden blade. The point to all that was he was ignoring the neck, and it caught up to him. Like that's the story. Because he did come back after 6 months of a repaired neck. And yes, that is a big target right now. But that's the point, is that he is wrestling like I think that's the story they're trying to tell, is that he isn't necessarily paying attention to the neck until, he's gotta type of thing. That's why the
right,
story with Dynasty went the way it did. That's why he had the attack, like the way he came at Mox. That was the whole point, and that's literally the story. That's what Mox even said. He's like, "I'm not going to beat you. You're going to beat yourself." That's why the match went like it did at Dynasty, because he's very much right. Will beat himself because of the way that he went after Mox. He used up like his special meter, whatever, right? And because of the forgetting the neck and ignoring the neck, Mox was able to pick him apart. So there was a point in the Dynasty match where Will went to go for the Tiger Driver, and because of the damage to the neck and the arm, he couldn't pick him up. And that's when Mox was able to get the upper hand. And literally, that's how he beat him. He beat him just because of the fact that Will wasn't able to do a lot of the stuff that he was trying to do that he could do earlier on because he already did it, instead of conserving his energy like he used to.
there you go. I guess that makes more sense here.
That's what I meant by the story of the match, because that's the thing with like New Japan. When you watch wrestling from New Japan, they don't. I mean, they do promos, but they don't do a lot of the story promos that like America westernized, I should say, wrestling does. A lot of their story work is in the ring. So that's where with like Will, I think that's the main thing that they were trying to do here, because obviously Will and John both have worked in Japan. Will primarily worked in Japan, so I think that's a big proponent to what he does. He tries to tell a story in the ring, and that to me is a proper professional wrestler, because if you're able to tell the story not only on the mic, just through the story itself and like your work backstage, if you can tell the story in the ring as well. And that's where with Mox and Will Ospreay, and even with like Ospreay and Hechicero, he literally just had this ridiculous match with Mox, and then he has this match with Hechicero the next, what, 3 days later?
Right. Yeah.
So that is why they're playing this up, and I think that it's gonna end up leading to Will bringing in like United Empire or something like that. So he's got like a group. I think they're probably leading to another. What's the Blood and Guts is coming up soon? I think.
No, Double or Nothing.
No, 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 no. The Blood and
Oh wait,
Guts
wait, wait. You're
like
right. You're right.
special is coming up soon. They usually do it like I think it's in the summer or like early spring, something like that. So that's coming up. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up having like a United Empire versus the Death Riders or something like that. Because I could see that.
Well, following this, it was, or before this, or was it after? I think we got this a little backwards
We're
here, but
bouncing around a little bit because after
right,
Mox and Osprey was the match that you didn't
six
like the
man.
yeah
Yeah.
you didn't
Well,
like
no,
the intro.
I didn't necessarily. We'll get there, but before that match was the match that I was looking for the night, and it was Cope and Christian
You know
versus
Eminem.
FTR, and this was the match I was looking forward to.
Yeah,
I thought it was what it was supposed to be like. It was just a regular old classic tag team match. I really enjoyed it. Um, I think these four men work well with each other.
oh yeah,
FTR phenomenal. Edge is professional, and Christian is always has
I fucking
always
love
been very
Christian.
well.
I've always loved
Yeah,
Christian.
all literally. I just wish Christian would get a different attire again. I'm so sick of his generic turtleneck thing that he's been doing for a while. But since
That's
actually since he's got there, he's been that. But I wish he would add some facade. I feel like, but anyway, he's still a heel, which I just gotta remember that. So, kind
he's
of, he was showing
yeah
some more emotion. He showed more emotion in this match than he ever has in the last 3 years. He smiled at some things while bickering at things
yeah.
when he was going.
Well,
Um,
he's also playing a weird character right now too. I don't necessarily what they're trying to do, but I think it's funny. I
right,
really
Edge is
do.
growing his hair back, so he's looking
Yep,
like
he's looking
old
like
Ed,
proper
not
Edge.
old man Edge, but like yeah, like Edge
Yeah.
again. I enjoyed the spot where Christian throws Stokely. It's like the most goofy roll into there to break the pin and then
Oh,
to cause
Stokely.
problems with FTR. I think Stokely is still a dumb clown here. I really don't like him being with FTR. It's so goofy in my opinion. The FTR does not need a manager.
Not
Um,
no. I mean, they don't
not
necessarily need a manager, but it's always fun to
right.
have somebody else for them to bounce off of because they're funny guys. They really are. I liked when they had Tully. I understand why they
Oh, when
don't
they
have
like
Tully.
Tully, I really enjoyed them, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know when they had him wrestle that one time. That not necessarily that part, but I enjoyed when
Yeah.
Tully was their manager.
I mean,
But
I've mentioned it before. I like Tully. Obviously, I've mentioned the Minnesota Stretching Crew. That's or Minnesota Wrecking Crew. That being Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. So I mean, yeah,
right,
of course I like Tully, but I don't hate Stokely. Let me put it that way. Um, I like what he brings. He's basically, for me, the way that I see it is, even though they don't necessarily need a manager, they do need somebody that they can get humiliated so that they themselves don't get
don't
humiliated.
have to do it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is true. That
So
all
that
lands on him.
yeah, that works for Stokely. And like Stokely, he's willing to do it, so why not, right? Like he literally went on TV and admitted he's short, bald, and he gets no hose. So I mean, like if you're willing to do
I
that on
forgot
national
about that.
TV, like bro, like so that's yeah, they don't necessarily need a manager, but having Stokely makes them have that extra layer. And honestly, I want to see them go on a good run. Like when was the last time you saw a tag team go on a long run as a tag team and not like go forgotten? Like somehow or WWE will be like, oh yeah, these two are tag team partners, and you forget that they're even the champions. Like I've seen that happen where like
Um,
they come out and you're like, wait, they're the title holders. When did that happen?
I would say like Undisputed Era NXT, but but after them, I would say FTR. I think this is a whole different discourse, but like their FTR's first title reign was good, but they just
It
I
was
feel like
plagued
every
by the
single
COVID, unfortunately.
no, it wasn't plagued by COVID. It was plagued by Tony Khan and like putting the titles on the good teams and then removing them, putting them on the next one,
Well,
removing them,
I think that's what
and
I'm.
it's
That's more
just
of what I meant by like it's plagued by COVID because when he was booking for the COVID era, there was so much bouncing around. And I think that
I
was
don't know.
mainly
He
why.
nailed the world champion scene, the world title scene, really good in
It's
the COVID
because
era.
Kenny was
So
writing it. Kenny wrote that whole
and
thing.
it was so good. But with this match, Edge was moving really good. First match back in a while. Christian as well. I really oh yeah, they busted open Edge with
Yep.
that title, and he was
That
bleeding
was
like
legit.
crazy.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
shoot. Yeah. Like, wow.
bleeding all over the place, and he
Hmm.
looked like a crazy mess. Christian uh, died to a chair. He got thrown into the post into the
Yeah.
chair, and I was like, uh oh,
Those
it
two can
was
sell,
that.
man. Like, that's always the one thing I've always liked about Edge and Christian. Like, they can sell. And it's fun to watch Christian because, like, he falls over in, like, a sack of potatoes, dude. It's just the way he. Bleh.
Right.
I'm
And
sorry.
but no, you're good. But this was a super important win in my opinion for FTR
Yes.
because it was like a good.
I
It was.
didn't expect it.
I expected it. I was like, Edge and Christian don't need these belts, and they need to
Yep.
put they need to put these guys over. You
Yes.
eliminate Christian, you pin Edge, and now you can move either continue a little bit maybe past this, but move on. But this
I'll
was
say
a
that's.
deserved win for FTR, and they
Yeah.
definitely was an important win for them because I did not need them losing the belts here at all to continue their reign.
And see,
What
my
did you think
thing.
about this whole match?
Like, the match itself was good. I like FTR. I mean, there's a reason I've got one of their shirts. Like, I'm a fan of FTR. I like
Right.
Dax and Cash, and they do really well together. Like, they've for two guys that didn't originally start off being a tag team, like, they're fucking phenomenal together.
Right.
And then, like you said, they work really well together because if it wasn't for FTR, we wouldn't have Cope. Like, he wouldn't be in ring shape. Like, there would be no
Yeah.
Cope in wrestling. So,
There would be no Cope back at all.
period. So yeah, I agree with you. These guys work really well together. I think that they did a really good job. And I mean, for two guys that were out of the ring for 7 years and 9 years, Christian and Cope are pretty impressive for being how old they are and how long they've been doing this. They're not so okay. This is where I'll agree with you. They're not doing some of the stuff that like Jericho tries to do. Right?
Right.
Jericho still tries to do like his lion salt and stuff like that, but the difference being obviously is that like their careers are a lot different. When Jericho was younger, he was a cruiserweight and he did all the flying and all that crazy stuff. Whereas Dax and Cash, they've always been the traditional whatever. We got Edge and Christian, or well, Cope and Christian, whatever. They flew around, but they were a little bit more technical too. And because they also had that time off where they went and did other stuff, where like I'm pretty sure that Cope was taking the best care of himself while he was out of the ring. Because when you go through a
Absolutely.
neck injury like that, like man, you get scared. Like I've been there. So yeah, man, they're doing great things. I mainly said that I wasn't going to be surprised if they won the titles, mainly just because I expected them to do the nostalgia run. I at one point in one of my reviews I said that they do have an opportunity with Edge and Christian to do what they could have done with the Hardys had Jeff not messed up.
Right.
And I'd like to see that actually happen, but they have to do it right. And I don't really want to see it be at the expense of FTR, at least not yet. Because that's where I'm at. Like I want to see FTR have a good long tag run. People don't like the last couple of tag runs that they had as far as like the title holders. So like this one's got to be good. And like they're tied with the Bucks because they've both been 3-time champions now. And so like that's clearly going to be an ongoing thing. So like if it's going to be that, then let it be that. Let them have their moment now. So I
Well,
agree. No, I
that
like the
was
match.
their thing.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to FTR, and we'll see what the future for Christian and Cope is. Following that was the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royale. Or Battle Royale, sorry, Gauntlet match. The Casino Gauntlet match with which had a huge mix of multiple types of wrestling
Yeah.
and was full of the damn what do they call the John Moxley entourage, which I didn't
Death
really
Riders.
like. The Death
Yeah.
Riders, which I didn't like.
You can
We
kind of
have a
tell
new.
that match was thrown together.
Yeah, that match was really. Well, I mean, it was obviously. I mean, Kyle Fletcher being hurt and them having to
Yeah.
scramble for something obviously was a big part of it with Tommaso Ciampa and I can't remember who was it. It was Tommaso Ciampa
Roosh.
and Rush that kicked it off. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not big on Rush. I'm big
I
on
love
Tommaso
Roosh.
Ciampa.
That fucking dude. I've liked Roosh for a while though because I paid attention to him when he was in the AAA and CMLL and he was the ROH World Champion at one point in time. So it was fun to watch him just annihilate people because that was about the time I got back into wrestling.
I think man, I sit here and think I wish Daniel Garcia just went to NXT.
I don't know,
Like not
like,
because
I don't know what's
like
going on
I
with him,
he's
man.
not doing anything here. Like when his contract was expiring last year and he re-signed here, I was like I knew that he would be stuck doing nothing and just being a dance gimmick, and then he would go off to do something. And then when he went to do the Death Riders, I'm like, okay, they're gonna do something, and he still hasn't done anything. And I'm like, if he had gone to NXT, maybe he'll get some character, and then you can develop skills over there. And then maybe if you want to go back, you can always hop it back and forth, right? As long as you don't burn bridges.
I don't
But like,
necessarily know if he would have gone to NXT. They probably would have put him in Evolve.
don't even scare me that hard.
No, dude,
I
I'm
think
serious. That's probably what they would have done with him to begin with. When you think about it, because think about the gimmick. What's his gimmick? He's not the Red Death anymore. So what is he? What's his gimmick right now? He's not even doing the dancing thing with the Death Riders. He threatens it to the crowd.
he's literally just the Death Rider. I don't
Yeah,
even know, but
that's what
I
I'm saying.
him taking the pin by from Kevin Knight was just like
I don't know why they
if it
did that to
was
him.
right, if
Should
it
have been
was because
Yuta.
he's like that same age gap with Kevin Knight of the young talent, like that deserved a title, like a TNT title, like, and
Yeah,
they pinned him out of all the people that were in that match. He's the one that took the pin, and Kevin Knight, I have no issue with. Young star, he's good in the ring. I haven't seen too much crazy about him, but like
oh,
I
I've
have
seen
no
quite a
issue
bit.
with it.
He's
But
awesome. I love that kid. I say
but
kid.
I give him the congrats for that. Overall, I thought it was just to put together, like not much enthusiasm for me. I was in and out of it, but
I tried to
what
kind of
about
keep an eye on it. I was I mean, when it comes down to it, like I sit down to watch these shows. Like I don't like go off do
right?
something else. Like I will watch these shows. I allocate time to do it because like this is my relaxation. So the gauntlet match, uh, I don't know. It could have been a lot better, but at the same time, it could have been worse. You know, I'm a fan of Ciampa. I'm a fan of Roosh. I love I love when he does his corner senton or whatever that or his boot. His big his running kick that he does, and he says, "Get the horns." And the way that Tony Schiavone says he's gonna get the horns, that shit pops me every time. I don't know why. It just makes me laugh, and that's half of it for me. Like I like the like what the fuck moments, you know. And the gauntlet itself was good. The match, to a degree, had some decent moments, but at the end of the day, though, like I think, like I said, it was thrown together. They didn't really think too much about spots. Um, I don't necessarily think that Daniel Garcia should have taken the pin. I think that it could have been somebody else, but maybe the reason why he took the pin was because he's a former champion, and that's what they're trying to convey. Or maybe they're trying to set him up to be a person that Kevin feuds for. Because, like you said, he's been a former TNT champion. Why not? So, and obviously you've got Ciampa, who's going to be going up against Darby soon. I don't know if
Oh,
you saw
very
that or
soon.
not.
Yes, very soon.
So that made sense as to why Ciampa had nothing to do with it. Roosh is fucking Roosh. You don't want there's no one's gonna believe that Kevin Knight is gonna just pin Roosh like he pinned Danny Garcia. Like Roosh
Right.
would have put up way more of a fight, so that makes a lot of sense there. So that's where like there's a lot of other people. I think it should have been Yuta because right now he's just Yuta. Um,
Yuta is also just what the heck is they doing?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm glad that he's still on TV, considering the fact that he started off as a protege of the best friends. Like after all of that run that he did with them and all that goofy shit, like I'm actually okay with him being part of the Death Riders because it's kind of like the Stokely situation. You got to have somebody that you can humiliate, and Danny Garcia, you don't want to necessarily humiliate, so that's where Yuta comes in. That's why he's the one that got his head shaved.
There you go. Following this was you saw this
Oh
right?
yeah.
Tekla and Windsor.
Or no, you're still
Oh,
talking about
sorry.
Dynasty. It was Jamie Hayter.
I yes, Jamie Hayter. Sorry, I was thinking about today,
I got you.
right? Um, Tekla versus Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's Championship.
I like
Let's
Hayter.
Jimmy. I like Jamie Hayter and I like Tekla, but I don't know what I was doing for this match.
Uh,
I think I might have been driving.
this one, man. Yeah, actually, I think you would have been driving because I think it was like right after
Oh
that
yes,
you popped up and you're like, "Oh, I was watching this." So this one actually went pretty good. Tekla and Jamie have a little bit of a history. They go back quite a bit. Like they've faced each other many times over the years. That's half the reason why Tekla made her debut, like taking out Jamie. So this match really showed that Jamie Hayter is back, if you ask me. Hayter used to have this whole thing like Hayter hits hard, like whatever. She was always one of those wrestlers that when she came out, I was like, I don't know who she is, but she's awesome. Because I think it was Britt Baker that brought her in, and I waited for that whole situation to play out, and I was
Jesus Christ.
I was really hoping that Jamie would get the win, but I knew she wasn't gonna, because there was absolutely no build. There was like nothing behind it. So I knew she wasn't going to get the win, but at the end of the day, I was hoping she would because she deserves a championship. She deserves to get that back. She didn't really lose it. She got hurt. So I don't know. Jamie is someone that I want to see get the championship back, but at the end of the day, I don't want to see it be at the expense of Tekla. Who would be a good opponent to take the title off of Tekla? Like, that's the thing where like I'm curious to see who could do that because Stat was kind of clunky. Jamie's okay. That I thought Jamie would have been made more sense, but ultimately, unless maybe they decide that they want to have it be Julia or Sky, which I don't think they would, but that would make things quote like I guess interesting. I was gonna say quote unquote interesting, but I mean, eh. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it though. I liked the match. It was a good match. I just I'm kind of getting over Tekla winning by shitty means. I get it. She's a heel, but you already have MJF doing that. Well, I mean, obviously, but
And you don't want to overconsumption the
yeah,
heel tactics
just
on
like you
one
don't want to
show.
have too many roll-ups on one show, and they kind of did that too. So like, there's certain
Right.
times where it's like you guys like you could have come up with something else. Like
Use the things once and
yeah,
don't use it again.
like be weary, like be like, okay, well they just used that in that match. Let's not use that in our match. Or if we are going to use that, let's do it a different way. Like that's why you watch people's matches ahead of time. Like that, I don't know. Uh, I'm old school with that. There's a podcast that I remember hearing about Taker talking about how back in the day that's what you used to do. You'd watch the curtain and you'd watch the matches and whatever. I did that, man. That was always the thing. Like it didn't matter if I was on first 4 hours before the main event. I stuck around just so I could watch because I could learn something, and I usually did. So I mean I
Nice.
get that.
Following this match, I also, you guys can hate me in the comments or on wherever the hell if this ever gets clipped here. I am not a fan of a lot of dumb, goofy, not dumb
He doesn't
things,
like goofy wrestling.
goofy stuff. The entrance turned me off here with the,
The
what are they called? It's like I
sitcom,
love Kyle O'Reilly and Roger. I
the
love
conglomeration.
the conglomerate. I don't
Yeah,
love the conglomerate, but I love Kyle O'Reilly. Before I get started, I love Kyle
I do
O'Reilly. I
too.
love Roger Strong. I love anyone in the Undisputed Era that was originally part of that group and their stuff before prior. I love them. But their entrance was just a sitcom goofy thing that gave Jim the giggles, but
Yes,
not
it did.
me because I'm just like I don't like Orange Cassidy, and then you add that character on top of this, and I'm like oh whatever. So I'm like I'm not watching this match, but I will say
I
what's
did.
it called? I will say I don't doubt the athleticism in this match, but I will say Gabe Kidd got hurt, so I
Yep.
hope Speedy recovers for him.
Well, he
But
got a
you can
dislocated
explain
shoulder.
more on this match.
So yeah, I'm gonna say one thing. I understand that you didn't like the goofy entrance. I get it, right? I get it. 100%. It's not your thing. But, what is the one thing that you remember about Kyle O'Reilly's face walking through that door?
I saw him walk through that door, and I
What
just
was it?
said,
What was
"All
his
right."
face doing? What was his
I
face?
honestly was he not mimicking
He was
the
smiling.
verbiage?
Dude, he was
Right.
smiling. He was beaming with happiness. He was glowing. He was so happy. And that's the thing, man. Like, I understand that it may not be your thing. I understand that, like, goofy
Right.
wrestling might not be for everybody. But that man was genuinely happy. And, dude, I watched him tonight come in Collision. They have the backpacks.
There you go.
So, like, they have the Orange Cassidy backpacks because, for the spoilers for out there, everybody in Dynasty World, uh, they won the trio titles because of Gabe Kidd's injury. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they were planning to give it to him anyway. I think. I want to say that they're trying to do something with the trios division because I feel like they're so forgotten that they even have them.
Oh
I
yeah,
forget
right.
they
Like
have them.
AEW has too many titles that
They
they
do.
don't do much with, and they forget. And then I feel like I like the trios titles because AEW is full of trios tag teams.
Yes.
But then like they fall into that kind of women's tag team division where it's like They don't
There's no trios
utilize
there.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Well, that too kind of plays into it. I remember at one point in time we had talked about, well, I'd mentioned just a theory of mine that like they were developing these other titles because there was a thought that they were going to get rid of TNT and
they were
TBS.
gonna get rid of them, right?
Yeah.
Because in case they like lost the rights or
Yep.
if they were gonna remove, they would get rid of them, and then these would be the replacements, and then
Yep.
they never did, and then.
They just have them. And see, that's my
Well,
thing.
you
Like
never know. You never know what this new purchase by Paramount and
there's
stuff,
some
but
weird shit going on
that's
there.
to be
Yeah.
determined. But that's a whole nother discussion.
100%. Well, okay. So at the end of the day, though, the match itself was good. Finley and Clark Connors, you could tell that they were playing things on the fly because Gabe got hurt pretty early on. He was in the match for a good while, and then all of a sudden he was gone. Like you see him yell at the camera, and he's holding his arm, and then he's gone. At one point, they show him like walking to the back. So it kind of sucks for Gabe Kidd. I like Gabe Kidd, I really do. He's always been somebody that impressed me when I was watching New Japan, and just anytime he come up in AEW, like he's a psycho, and I love it. So he comes out after the conglomeration have made their entrance, and the dogs come out, and he pretends to pee on the couch. So that made me chuckle. But that's why it's like I'm really kind of sad that he got hurt because I want to say that maybe they did plan to give the titles to the conglomeration the whole time because of Kyle O'Reilly coming back because it's his hometown and he's the only Canadian that won on the show. Out of all the Canadians that was on Dynasty,
Right.
he's the only one that won. So like at least that's fitting. But it just sucks
Hey,
that Gabe Kidd
you
got hurt.
revealed the you spoiled the main event.
Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, dude, come on. It's been a few days. People haven't seen it online through other things like spoilers,
Right.
y'all.
No, but because
come on.
I do congratulate Kyle O'Reilly. I feel like they do deserve something because they haven't done anything since they've been there.
Yeah, and it's
Right,
the
and
thing
it's not
too.
even
It's
at
like,
their fault. It's not even at their fault because Adam got injured when.
yep.
And,
I hope he's
yeah,
doing
and he got
okay.
injured again, and then.
He's got his concussion stuff, and like So I mean, I was a fan of on the Undisputed Era, like Bobby Fish, but he's
Bobby
okay.
Fish being like the NXT, like what no, I don't even know what happened to Bob. Like I can't believe the
He
downfall of Bobby Fish. It's just
I don't. He's wrestling in MLW here and there, but it's not a lot, and he's actually a lot older than the rest of them too. So like, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that he was almost 10 years
he
older than the
looked
rest of
very
them.
young in
Yeah,
NXT, and right, and then all of a
yeah.
sudden they
Just
released
got
them
old
all,
then.
and then he just like aged 20 years
Well,
when
it's
they
like what happened with
released them.
Ciampa. Like he gets released, and then he goes over to AEW, and all of a sudden his beard's white. It's like, oh, did you just decide to stop dyeing it, dude?
Right, like did he have no more money to dye out the hair? Like
That, or maybe it became a standard, like in WWE, they, because they do that. They have this whole thing where
right,
like
yeah.
you've got to be this look. You can't change that. You can't do whatever. So like maybe it was that. So I don't know. But it, for me, these guys, they do their things. And Bobby Fish, I don't know. He kicked out after the 3 count when he was facing CM Punk. That just made me go, what the fuck were you doing?
Yeah, that whole thing was he said like the argument was that when he went to wrestling school they taught him that when you tap on something you don't you kick
Yeah,
out or
like
something, and
he
then
got
like
him.
he
Yeah,
tried to say some dumb, and it's like what, the match was obviously the
yeah,
referee knows the finish, so like
yeah.
obviously that was the finish, the referee doesn't just count to 3 just to count to 3.
Yeah, well, and that's the
Like
thing too. Like, I feel like you know what the finish is, so obviously, and especially if you've already heard 3, why are you kicking out? Like, what the hell? He's
right.
literally getting up. So
Like I think maybe he was just probably just maybe he felt some type of way just for no. Yeah, I don't know. Bobby just he's had a
been
weird
interesting.
spiral
Yeah,
downfall, but that's a whole. We can make a whole video on that if we
we
really
really
wanted
could. We
to.
should one of these
Like
days. 'Cause we
literally,
could.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I
Following
agree. I like the Undisputed guys. That's what I was saying.
absolutely, but following this was the main event, and I hope Jim just spams a bunch of MGF photos on this when I say this, but.
Oh, there we go. I got him.
MJF, and you better every time I say MJF, it just better be like a MJF pop up or something.
Oh, I'll do
but
it.
MJF versus Kenny Olivier, Kenny Omega. I enjoyed these men's entrances. Like I loved
Yeah.
Kenny's entrance. I loved MJF's entrance.
Oh
I
my
thought
God,
the
that
crown
was
was a
awesome.
bit goofy. The crown was a bit goofy, and the trench coat was a bit goofy. But I thought it was funny because it just said like upside down cross, and then said 666 on the sides, and I was like, that's the most hilarious shit ever. But I will say these men both looked great. Like
Yeah.
Kenny looked great.
Fuck
MJF
yeah.
is look. This is like the best MJF has ever looked in. But he's looking a little bit more slimmer. I've seen
Yeah.
him a bit bigger, but that he still looks
He's cut.
super. Yeah, super cut.
And I mean, Kenny, this is the best he's looked in years, man. Like, straight up, 100%. Like, I'm not even kidding. This is the best he's looked in years.
Right, and I've seen like I really hated when they brought him back from injury when he wasn't even fully healed. Remember he was
Yep.
wearing that whole body cast
Yep.
for like no, and I was like,
I
Kenny should
remember
not
that.
be
And I'm
out
like,
there.
why is he wearing that? And I remember being like, oh,
Kenny
yeah,
should
he's.
not be wrestling.
Yep.
Like I wish he would take like a Jericho break before, like make sure he's all good. But I really enjoyed when Kenny went to go for, to go to off the top to MJF and MJF cuts him with a cutter.
Yeah.
That was like a cool spot for me there. And Kenny brings out a table, and I just want to bring this discourse here because like they're obviously setting up for something for later.
He was complaining.
But Kenny brings out a table, and for me, it's like, okay, I've grown up knowing that you can use the commentary table, and that's not a disqualification, which has always been weird to me, a weird thought for me, but it's always been a thing in anywhere. I don't know why they had to use that table, but it made sense later on, obviously.
Yep.
They go at it, and they go at each other brutally. Like they went almost 45 minutes, right? Like
Yeah,
almost 40, and
they went,
and.
man.
Like everything looked good. Like MJF puts everything good over. Kenny, nothing wrong from like Kenny's Kenny.
Kenny's Kenny. And he's done that
I
too, man. How many times I think he's done what, 3 1 hour long draws on Dynamite or Collision or whatever. Like
somewhat like that, right?
he's done a couple of them. I know one of them I think was against Hangman. Was it Hangman? No.
I can't recall from my brain currently, but I
Yeah.
like that they teased a bunch of like when they would put him up. Kenny would be put up by MJF, and I'm like, oh, here comes a reversal one wing angel from the top rope, and it's over. And they kept teasing
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Like they kept teasing that in each corner. They went from the left corner to the right corner. I'm like, oh, here comes the top rope one wing angel. It's over. But it never succeeded to anything.
He did get one, but it was
right.
Yeah.
The ref bump came in. He gave Kenny took the ring on Dynamite, right?
Danielson.
And
that's
you
who it
had
was.
stated that the ref would have the damn ring.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
did the ref bump.
Well, he
and-
took it from him to begin the match.
Right.
Like straight up, he was just like, "Wait a minute," and he took it. He told him to take it from him. So that's why I'm like, okay, he's got the ring. So what the fuck, guys? Like, what are we, what are we doing?
And I will say the ref bump happened, which it's such an MJF thing now, but it just reminds you of Roman a bit now. Like every Roman match doing from 2021 to 2024, or even now,
It's a main event.
has a ref bump match, a ref bump, and I'm like, for me, I think I'm just dried out of ref bumps because they
I
kind of
agree.
happen. They happen more and more now in modern wrestling than ever before.
Yep.
It's like, all right, we don't need I need every company to take a break from the ref bump for like 4 years, and then
We need a company
whatnot.
that like has a. So actually, I was about to say we need a company that has a ref that fights back, but we do because TNA. has
oh
a
yeah,
ref. So-
we need a referee that just like puts you in a arm drag or something like headlock takedown and like all right, fight
Starts
back.
fighting you.
And I'm tired of referee when the ref bump. I'm tired that they die. Like
Yeah, they're out.
they'll get hit. They'll get hit with like the finger point of doom, and they're out for 30 minutes. Like
Well, there's
I-
been a few times Rick Knox has fired up and fought
oh yeah,
people.
he's got. Well, I
Yeah.
don't like Rick Knox. He's not the best referee, but
No,
I
but
do.
on
Yeah,
the
he has
indies, he
gotten up
fights.
and he's gotten up and. But I will say, towards the end, right? Like this is my thing about pile drivers. Didn't he hit Kenny with a pile driver, in before he did the final pile driver, or the tombstone, I should say.
I think
Same
so.
thing, tomato tomato. I'm not a big fan of the pile driver maneuver used before a finish because it's like you're landing on your neck, but like that should like the one with Angel is kind of pile driver. And you can say MJF kicked out of the pile driver here because I mean, well, no ref, and the count, and Kenny went for that count, and he counted to 15, and then another ref came in, and then he
Well, we
got
all
out
knew
of
he was
it.
going to use that. We all
Right,
knew.
yeah.
He even said it first thing on Dynamite. He's like, the only person to kick
Yeah.
out of the One Wing Angel is like, what? I knew it. Even Simon Miller on What Culture called it. He's just like, he's going to use that.
He's
until
gonna
the
say
cows come
that,
home.
and it was like, well, you wait. It was like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
of
the
counting,
first thing
and
he said.
then it was that. Um, Kenny didn't got the short end of the stick here when they were on the apron,
Mhm.
and MJF got him in that tombstone position, and this was a brutal table spot. But for me, the referee was watching this, and
Mhm.
I think from my brain of watching any wrestling, I feel like I don't know understand how that wasn't a DQ. They both went to the table, but like but he was putting him to the table, but like 'cause in the tombstone position. So like I'm still just a little confused to why there's that leeway. I understand it's a big match, but like I mean, if I were to see any like something like that on WCCW, it would be like a disqualification. If I were to see that in any of that stuff in like
Well, it's
a
Fritz though.
WWE, it'd be a a disqualification. If it was on TNA, it might be a disqualification depending on the factor. Like I still don't understand that aspect of it. To me, but he rolls him back in the ring and takes him over, pin 1, 2, 3, and MJF is the first wrestler to kick out of a one wing angel allegedly.
Well,
And
technically the second.
oh, you know what?
Coda.
Correct me or not, but I swear to God, Christian Cage kicked out of the one wing angel on fucking what was it? That show that used to air on Fridays. What was it
Rampage.
called?
No, he didn't kick out
Rampage.
of it.
I,
Kenny
s- I
Kenny let him up. Like he pulled his head up.
I I have a memory, but I just don't but MJF got the win and he ran up to that stage and he went to his
Sat in his
throne
throne.
and
Yep.
celebrated with the title up and went down. What did you think of this match?
I loved it. It was, like I said, it was the first time in a long time that Kenny's looked really good.
Hmm.
There was a part of me that was like, man, I wonder if they will. So when it comes to wrestling, I like to be surprised. I can do a pretty good job of figuring out booking and saying stuff because like I called what certain things like I even said it. How many times have I in Discord popped up like I called it? So
Right.
the amount though that I was expecting Kenny to win kind of drew me away from the possibilities of what MJF was able to do. So that really impressed me. And I understand that the table spot doesn't make sense to you. But here's the thing. First of all, everything that you were saying, every other company would be a disqualification, right?
Right.
So you're upset that a company is doing something different than the other companies?
I'm not upset that they're doing something different. I just wish like they would add like for me it's like they're not having an extreme rules match, they're not having a no holds barred match. Like there's no
Okay,
like the
well,
rules are like yeah, like like in AW you'll see like they'll specify things like, oh, you can do this in these 20-minute blah 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 or this is allowed like and
yeah,
even
yeah.
in like sports like in MMA they'll be like, all right, this is allowed
Hmm.
here and this is not allowed. For me it's like AEW does this thing where they don't really explain things. Even when you watch
They
the
do.
build up for it, there's tens for me. So when they allow any weaponry. Like if MJF used a kendo stick in front of the referee, I would have a even bigger issue. Like or if what vice versa, right?
So
Because
there's certain situations where the ref kind of just wants there to be a winner. Um,
right,
there became a big trope in WWE where like the champion would just win because of a disqualification. Or, that was always a big storyline thing for them. And that was always like a big deal. And I think that's what AEW is trying to get away with. Now, I will say, if the table wasn't there and he did a pile driver just to the floor.
oh that would be fucking like the most like Kenny Omega has to go away for a year.
So
Like
the fact that he went through a table and it broke his fall
right.
doesn't, I
For
mean,
me,
that's what I'm saying is it's no
and
different
then
than if he
my
did that.
here's the counter argument. Why not just do your finisher in the ring and count it 1, 2, 3?
Because
Like
he wanted to
if you
put him
to
away.
avoid that, right? Obviously, right. Put him away. But I feel like if you want to do a top rope tombstone or some crazy nonsense, there's other loopholes for that.
But I
And
think
my
that's
argument
the,
would be
I want to say that's the story
that
arc, though. Because like Kenny's the one that brought the table out, and he literally, while he was bringing the table out, I can't remember if it was Bryce or who the ref was, but he was literally apologizing to the ref as he brought the table out. Like he straight up said, "I'm
right.
sorry, I'm sorry, I am sorry," and that to me, like that's cleaner Kenny coming through a little bit.
But what I will say though, my only dislike for this match is the table, and but not as now that I fully came to 3 days to understand it. not as much. But my only thing that I hated about this match is how damn long it went for me.
Yeah, that was
I
a
feel
little bit
like
too
this
much for me.
match, this match didn't need to be almost 50 minutes. It would have been fine being 25. They could have squeezed everything in 25 minutes. Not fast, but at a good ease pace.
Mhm.
But I will give them credit just because now that I'm started training, that it takes so
A lot
much
of
damn
conditioning.
leeway to have a damn long match like that.
It's a
It
lot of
takes
conditioning, man.
a lot of damn conditioning, so I'll give them that kudos now because I mean, I don't get blown up to like, and not that I know of my limit, but like watching people work on themselves and seeing this, like, it takes a lot of fucking damn
Oh yeah.
without breaks. Because like in WWE, you'll have a long match, but like people take breaks. Like you'll see a triple threat match, it'll go on for 40 minutes, but people
One
disappear from the
dude's out.
spots.
Yeah, one dude's
Yeah,
like
one dude's
outside on the
out.
rope.
Or even when like a Roman and Cody, I'm not dissing on the WrestleMania 40 match, but it had a bunch of outside stuff, and they were able to get their little breaks in, and that's how they were
I
able
mean,
to
I'm
leave.
sure that's part of it.
I'm not saying they can't not have a singles match that go that long together without all that, but like gives them some breaks, air time, and you know. But that was it. I give MJF. I give the AEW Dynasty a 7 out of 10 rating. It might be lucrative. I like to give the ratings for pay-per-views, but 7 out of 10 is mine being nice. Just the only negative takeaways is like, um, just the length with the
Mhm.
opening show. What's it called? The
The
zero
0 hour.
hour.
Yeah. Starts at 6
Those
usually.
matches could have been on like a Dynamite or like a
Yep.
Collision or whatever else, or like or maybe
Well,
make it two matches. Which I'm not against, having other people on the pay per view, but like it gives more stuff and extra. But I feel like, and that just for me again, the Will Ospreay neck thing. But you explained it a little bit more for me, so like I guess there's that leeway and that damn entrance with that
yeah.
that team, the trio entrance. Those are my negative takeaways overall for my first AEW pay per view. Watch down for a long time. It was decent. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was decent.
So I mentioned you mentioned earlier that it's not one of their big four pay-per-views. And you're right, it's not. It isn't. The Dynasty, I think, is. I want to say this is like the third one that they've done. Maybe I can't remember exactly, but it's not exactly one of their big pay-per-views. But it's definitely something that I've looked forward to in the last few years because they've done some interesting stuff with it. And this one, I mean, I don't necessarily do the ratings. I hadn't really thought about doing a rating system. Maybe I'll do a 4 out of 5 gyms. I don't know. But like basically, Dynasty was decent, and the only reason why for me it wasn't a fantastic show is exactly what you said, the length. And when it comes to AEW, they usually do fantastic pay-per-views. All of their pay-per-views have something, right? But if there's always
Right.
one thing that I just it sucks for me sometimes is that they do go pretty long. Um,
And
this
also for me, it's they still do old format where you have to pay like $60 to watch it.
unless you have HBO and then it's only 40.
Unless you, oh no, HBO, you can't. Wait, hold on. Unless you have Amazon Prime or HBO, you got to pay $30, right?
No, 40. That's what I just said because I have HBO
Oh, sorry, I'm
and
blind.
I
Or
only paid 40.
40. That's still
I don't
again
know about Prime.
pricey
I
for
don't
a
know
pay.
what the deal is with that one, but yeah, no, I
S-
only paid
For
40
me, it's still pricey.
for
It's still
Dynasty.
pricey. Like WWE with Netflix, or
Similarly
sorry,
to
not
I
with
only
Net.
paid 40 for the Rebellion pay-per-view for TNA.
No, I don't know. For me, though, I still think they need to make their money, but that's still pricey, especially when WWE was $10 to $12. I mean, like, I still think $40 is still pricey for a pay per view in
Yeah.
today's time. Like, I like the deals they have. Like, even with Netflix, you can still watch it for, even with the ad one, like $12, $15 for if you use a VPN. I think ESPN, we're reversing right now, and ESPN is the same way right now with AEW. If you want to watch it through ESPN, in the United States, it's like $30 with the subscription, and then $30 to watch the pay per view itself. So I would acknowledge you guys to use a VPN if you want to watch a WWE pay per view and just use Netflix on a VPN. I would recommend it, and hopefully NordVPN will send us an email to sponsor them. But we can make that a leeway. But before we go, we're going to talk about one more thing that happened last night that I was there live for. That is very important. We talked about Andrade and Darby. Darby got the win to earn the title shot, and Darby cashed in his title shot by Tony Khan announced there at the scrum that he would do it this week on Dynamite live from Everett, Washington. And whoever works at AEW does not know how to use a damn map because I don't know why they keep putting the Seattle graphic or the Space Needle, and they did a bunch of press in Seattle. Like, no, Everett and Seattle are two different cities in Washington, and like. I want to shout out a local stop right by that arena. If you are in the Everett area or come travel for a show whenever they go, Major League Pizza is one of the best pizza spots in the area. But furthermore, Everett is where Darby Allin trained, by the way, at Buddy Wayne School, which is no longer a thing anymore. But he trained there. He would go from Kent. He would take the 150 from Kent all the way down to Everett, which he is a damn champ for that because I could not sit that long in that bus and take a different bus to get there because that's a long stretch from taking, especially taking transit. But that's the dedication that this kid put into that business. And I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve it because he deserved it, and he has worked his ass off and put his body on the line for the entertainment and for his own self as well, and for this company to be where he is now. And they open up the show with him and MJF. I just wish I know the emotions got the best of Darby. I just wish he was able to hold himself more together, you know. But once that, and I liked MJF in that promo because MJF's just watching him, you know, like just look like I liked MJF's facial recognition, like he knows, you know, like
Oh yeah,
and I enjoyed that. And then MJF doesn't want to do it, but then Daniel Bryan gets a memo from TK.
He seems so happy.
And Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson looked very happy there. And then they announced it for the main event. The main event happens, and I get a little worried, right? Because I'm looking at the clock that's in the arena, you know, where that they check the time on. And I'm like, oh, there's only like 5 minutes of airtime. They're gonna go overtime, or is this gonna be a really? They usually do.
Yeah, they've got like 15 minutes usually sometimes.
And they make their entrances, and Darby's just he doesn't even do it. He doesn't bring he just speed walks to the ring.
Yeah,
he's like super.
I wasn't like sure what to think of the lack of skateboard. I didn't even
think
that.
I was thinking he was gonna bring out the skateboard, but no. I've seen Darby quite a few times now, and MJF comes out, and I love MJF. I'm
a fan. Yeah,
I'm coming in this thinking we're gonna get a 2021-2023 match, and I'm waiting for this, and then my wife pops for MJF's banner that dropped because I didn't even think that was gonna. I didn't think he was gonna drop the banner, and we popped, and I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking sick that he did that, and we're enjoying it. The match finally starts. And he gives the ring to Aubrey Edwards. Edwards turns her back on everyone. He low blows Darby Allin. And then Aubrey turns back around again to give the damn ring to someone else. And Darby low blows MJF. Aubrey turns back around. He hits the Scorpion Death Drop. And then, first coffin drop. Then the next coffin drop. And I'm like, oh, he's about to damn win this thing. And we're like, oh, it's got to happen to squash. The third coffin drop, and then the fourth coffin drop, and then the damn headlock takeover. 1, 2, 3, and Darby Allin is your new AEW World Champion. I feel mixed about this, and I forgot to mention to this, Sting did give him a small good
little pep talk.
And as soon as I saw Sting, I'm like, oh, he's winning because Sting is here. You know, like that's and he won the belt. I feel really mixed because I was really expecting to see an MJF and Darby have a banger because I haven't seen MJF live and have a match in 3 years, and I've seen them both previously, and I'm like on TV have a match many years ago, and even in the independents, and I was wanting more. Like I'm happy for Darby. I felt like emotional there, like an excited emotion for him, but like at the same time, I'm like. I wanted them to have like a good 10-20 minute bout, and but also it's like he deserves it. Like he's earned it, in my opinion. But I just wish we got more. But also at the same time, it was like it was good. But I don't know how to critique this in any articulated way. What did you feel about it?
So I had a mixed feeling too. My only thing with it is I knew that they were eventually going to put the title on Darby. I originally thought that it was going to be Darby that took the title from Mox. just because of a promo that Mox cut at one point in time, because he said something about climbing to the top of the mountain, and I'm sitting there thinking, wow, wait, he just said that while Darby is literally climbing a mountain. So
Right.
that was kind of where that was like my like, oh, it's gonna. I even made a TikTok at one point in time. I was like, mark my words, Darby is gonna take the title off of Mox because he's gonna climb the mountain, whatever. So I always knew that they had that one planned. Like I had that in the back of my head. Um, it's weird that it went like a squash. I don't really know how I completely feel about that. But at the end of the day, this is an opportunity for AEW. When you have such enigmatic people that have been the champion already, I mean, like, think of the people who have been AEW World Champion. Jericho, Kenny, Mox, you've got Swerve, Samoa Joe, CM Punk. You've got these people that you're going down the list, and you think, okay, so when Mox won it, Hangman could take it from him, or Kenny could take it from him. There's story there, you know. You think of all these different people, and you do your fantasy booking with Darby. Who would be the perfect person to take the title off of Darby? The list is actually pretty big.
And you know what I want to add there is that now we have a fresh world title scene because
Exactly.
Tommaso Ciampa is a good opponent. You
Brody
could
King.
throw in, yeah, Brody King is a good opponent, and we've seen that feud 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been a good back and
Oh
forth.
yeah.
Like you have fresh people that you can now have in the main event scene. You know, my
Yep.
thing is that I just have an issue with the way MJF lost because like he beat a lot of top stars while having this. You
Yeah. Oh
know,
yeah.
and like people that I don't see Darby. Like it's another Jey Uso situation for me. Like he tapped out Gunther in 2 seconds with doing his own maneuver. So you're telling me that this guy can retire Cena, Styles, and you see that's how I come out of it. But
Didn't he
like,
also retire Goldberg?
oh yes, Goldberg, Cena, and Styles, and I'm like, you're telling me Jey Uso can beat Goldberg and Jey Uso can beat AJ and Jey Uso can beat Cena. You know, that's how
So
I see it too. And
yeah, I don't
it's
know
just,
about that, but
maybe it's just the way, it's just the aspect of it because it's like the way he lost. If it was like
yeah,
a longer bout, you know, and they had like 10, 20 minutes of bout of like showing that he can go with MJF and he can go with MJF. We've seen that before.
yeah, we've
I'm
seen
not
it.
saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't. If just the way if he had won it. That's how I like Jey Uso is different, but like that whole thing I can sit here and rant about for 2 hours. But like
Yeah, that
this
doesn't
one is
make any
different.
sense
So
to
that's
me.
why I feel very mixed because like he deserved it, he earned it, but like I really
It
wish
could have
we
been a
got
different
like
way.
or different. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good. It was like for me, I'm still mixed. Like I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. I was like intrigued by it, and I was in the moment, in the emotion, and excited. you know,
Yeah.
but like he was well deserving of it, and everyone came out towards the end. Like all the baby faces came out and celebrated with him, and Sting came out, and everyone celebrating. They popped the confetti. I just wish he held like he. I wish he held that title up. He didn't really celebrate. He was so emotional in that moment, but I wish he would hold that title belt up. Like Aubrey Ed was trying to get him to hold the title belt up. He put it down for some reason, and he didn't even cut a promo or anything. I wish he was able to articulate himself vocally. He kind of just said like "fuck" and well, we have Collision next, so let's clean this ring up. And he left, and I'm like, yeah, I wish he, but
And that's where I am worried because, like I said, he's not exactly a promo guy. I mean, he can cut a promo, but like,
he's not that's not his major.
yeah, and that's, I mean, I don't know. That's where, yeah, I'm weary because like he can do it. Obviously, he can go in the ring, but that's where like he's the face of the company now, so he's gonna have to do a bunch of other stuff to it too. He's gonna have to do the press stuff. He's gonna, I mean, he did this he did this weird thing where he talks about how he put posters up in the rain to do the match. Like, y'all, this isn't 1990 whatever. You don't have to go around and put posters up on posts for people to
Hey,
know.
no, I want to cut you off here. I won't. Seattle is huge with
Well,
that
okay,
kind of
yes,
advertising,
I get
and
that.
like, I will say WWE does it all the time, and but I didn't see any. I want to know if that's true because I didn't see any any of the AEW like
That's
posters
what I mean,
anywhere.
though, because I saw a
Like,
bunch of people that, like, I saw forums and different places like Reddit. There's a bunch of people like, I live in Seattle, I didn't see shit. So it's
yeah,
like,
no, you know what? What my biggest issue is that like the arena was damn near empty from all of it, and like I think Tony Khan lacks in pushing advertising before the events. Like the day before, Tony Khan was on the local news, Darby was on the local news, but like they should have promoted this event harder than what they did. Like
Well,
to have the full house because like they didn't really they suck at doing local promoting versus WWE. Like I'll be driving and there's like a billboard of Raw on the bus or a billboard of Raw on a giant billboard or on the sides of the cities or like they'll have posters glued to the damn walls of towers and whatever vacant walls there are. And I'm just like, I wish AEW did that because they
it
need that
might be
in my
city
opinion.
based though, because they do. I've seen them do that in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Like they have the Metro buses. They've had pictures of the AEW wrestlers and stuff. Like they've done that when they do those. So maybe
Oh
it's
right,
city based.
maybe just a right.
Maybe
I
because
don't
like
know.
maybe
Like
Seattle's just more loyal to WWE. I don't know, because like I said, when they come to Minneapolis or St. Paul, and I know that they've done it in Milwaukee too, because in Chicago, I mean, fuck Christ, they're everywhere in Chicago. They
right.
I mean, they've done that. I've seen all kinds of billboards. I got a buddy that lives in Chicago, and they constantly have. He's got an LED billboard outside of his apartment, and every so often he'll be like, "I see your fucking wrestling people again." So like,
No, I believe it.
so
I
yeah,
just think they need to do it harder whenever they're in the. They don't really come this way that often. They come here like the WWE way once a year versus on your neck of the woods. They're everywhere. So
well, I mean, it was almost in exactly a year between when they were in St. Paul, because it was like the 23rd of March last year, and this year is the 25th, and they were in the
there
same
you
building.
go.
And that's the thing with the Roy Wilkins, man. Like, you're never going to make me think that the small venues are bad for wrestling shows, because like the Roy
Oh
Wilkins
yeah, absolutely.
Auditorium, you've got, I can't remember what they called it in Chicago, but that one that like had the like, what the fuck, I can't remember what it's called now. It's like not the Orpheum, but it's like that. They have those ones where they have like the little stage or like the little amphitheaters and stuff. I love those because the crowd feedback in there is so awesome. Those places are usually made for concerts, so of course it's going to be acoustic crazy. So like of course the crowd's going to be able to carry and they get into it. And I can't lie, some of the chants that y'all had last night was fun to hear.
Oh, it was a ton of fun. I enjoyed the atmosphere was good in the crowd. Like I just had some weird. There were some weird people behind us that were just
Yeah,
saying
it's
I agree with Paul here. Like Paul said that he's like people have say weird comments and interesting like
yep.
stuff that shouldn't be really kept
What's
to
like
themselves.
I went
That's
to
the thing where it's like
what was it? I think it was yeah, it was Dynamite last year, and I was standing in line waiting to get into the show, and there's some dude talking to me asking me if I thought Shane McMahon was going to show up. It's like,
yeah that
bro, you like what?
it's funny. But without further ado, this was our first ever dynasty. What did you guys think about dynasty? What did you guys think about Darby winning the world title? If you guys enjoyed the show, if you guys enjoyed this conversation here, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you made it all the way this far, we all appreciate it. Even Paul does, and we appreciate all the support. Make sure to share and let us know what you guys think. I I thought overall so far this wrestling's been good, and Jim is winning me over here.
It's just it's a different outlook on it. That's part of what I'm trying to get people to see. It's like wrestling is for everyone. There's always something. Yeah, you can find stuff that you don't like, but then you can find something that you do like just as quickly. So my favorite thing to say is just love wrestling, man. I'm really looking forward to honestly being able to, I guess, explain things to you a little bit even more to get you to like to see it from that side, because there is a different aspect of wrestling that AEW has. They have a different feel to them, and that's the thing that I'm starting to realize since I'm doing these reviews and I'm actually able to go back and like watch stuff. TNA's got their own niche, AEW's got their own niche, WWE's got their own niche, even like MLW has their own thing.
Japan,
So New Japan, yeah, everywhere's got
yeah,
their own thing. They've got their own stuff that they lean into, and that's where I think with AEW, people were having a hard time since they were so new. They were comparing them to WWE, and it's like, yes, I understand that since the WWE for most people is the standard that they know, that's what AEW is trying to break. They're trying to break people understanding that wrestling can be wrestling without it being WWE. That's just where I'm at, and that's why with you, like I try to just say, hey man, this is what I'm thinking. This is why I think like maybe
right.
we should give it a chance or whatever. Because at the end of the day, that's specifically what's going on. We're seeing a different product that people are putting forth an effort for us
Uh-oh.
to see.
I will say this though, before we get off of the air,
Oh
we need to stop the tribalism.
yes, absolutely. 100%. I agree. Tribalism needs to
Like
leave wrestling.
because I'm tired of like looking at an AEW post and like there's a WWE mark shitting or saying some goofy smarky thing, or a WWE post and an AEW rage bait.
Yep.
It's unnecessarily rage bait or whatnot, but like it's dumb because it's like those alienated crowds and people kind of kill it for a lot of people, I would say, and they
Hmm.
have like infiltrate it and in a negative, horrendous route of things. So then someone else will be like, "Oh, then this sucks. Let's not take a peek at this."
Yep.
Like it pushes people away from wanting to be interested into it when the crowd is acting negative just because you like a certain things. That's where it's like weird. Like that's a big thing too with both sides. Where it's like, y'all, this isn't a good look for trying to enjoy something. It's really.
Absolutely. And people just can't enjoy what they enjoy without people being upset about it.
Any final words for you?
No, honestly, like we've covered a lot, and for the most part, most of my theories and stuff that I like to say about what's going on is coming up in my reviews. I'll be doing the Collision review, and I still have to watch Impact. Um, but yeah, I just right now I think one of the big things that I'm trying to convey, and I want, and I agree with Sponge here, is that we need to get rid of tribalism in professional wrestling because there's no place for it. Everybody just needs to understand that there's something for everybody because wrestling is for everyone. You have to suspend belief when it comes to professional wrestling because like you're literally people wrestling in your underwear. So don't take it so seriously sometimes. That's what the IWC needs to understand is that WWE can do their own thing, AEW can do their own thing, TNA can do their own thing, New Japan. Just let people live, yo. Just enjoy wrestling. That's pretty much what I think people need to understand. They just need to enjoy wrestling.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening to this conversation. Again, we hope you guys enjoy. My final words are: Tony Khan, please collaborate with WWE so we can have a crazy ass Survivor Series.